And so I printed out this map, I'll show you what.
I probably already have it.
Yeah.
That's, you have the colored version, which I only have at home.
Yeah, so, and your property, let's see, so your property's right down like that
That-
little triangle.
We have a tiny little,
Yeah.
size, a tenth of an acre.
Yeah, it's very small.
Yeah, it's very small.
Okay. And again, that parcel has never come up, but you never know.
You never know.
Yes,
And of
ma'am.
course, you know, the board wants to do its due diligence there.
And there will be, I mean, it's a very casual meeting in that, but so if you have questions, you should probably just raise your hand.
Okay, I do have one question that the board member has asked me to present, but I think it's logical that I do it after your presentation. I think it's a simple one, it's not antagonistic, just information.
I find it hard to believe that you'd be antagonistic. I just don't see it in you.
Antagonistic, oh yes.
I don't see it in you. I don't see you being that.
Well, I was brought up in a time when women, forgive me for sounding that political subject, but we were taught to be professional
Sure.
and not to emote. And I had the good fortune of learning from some bosses along the way who knew how to be restrained and factual and cordial to other people. So I tried. Anyway. Yeah, and I'm the person who comes to meetings like this because everybody else on the board is way younger than I am, and they have jobs and families. So I have the time to spend.
There is one other citizen that called. I don't know if he's gonna show up tonight or not, but never know. So,
Go through this anyway.
but I was talking to Mark, my boss, and he said that when this first came up many years ago, there was a good crowd here. Listening to what was
About this particular
Uh-huh.
parcel.
Yeah, and they got the use approved for the dog training facility.
So it was some time ago that got.
Yeah, that was 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a while.
Walks his dog along the sidewalk on Friars Church Road early every morning. He used to mind when the student goes to meeting. They put up a survey state. There's a zoning hearing sign.
Where did you retire from?
I worked for an engineering company in Harrisburg
Okay.
for about 30 years. But
Which one?
It was called Transcorp. I grew up in the suburban Washington area and then I'm a graduate of the University of Maryland, so I moved back to closer to my family.
Nice.
I like Westminster, I think it's charming.
You know what? I lived in Frederick all my life.
Okay,
I retired from Frederick,
you know,
and then I took this as a pre-retirement job.
there you
because
go.
I'm only 60 and I can't see just not doing, anything. And so, I was the director in Frederick and, the pressure was just,
Yeah, but you have all the background
Right.
that you can use to help
Sure.
people here. That's good.
so this is, and my wife would have killed me if I would have stayed home because I would have probably just started reorganizing the house and doing all sorts of things that I'm not allowed to do.
You would have been underfoot, I
Yeah.
understand about that. There's some of that going on in many households.
Yeah,
But it's nice that you have something where you have a special contribution. Is your department large? You have a lot of. people?
here,
Yeah,
there's 4 of us.
okay, so that's very small, I imagine.
Yeah. Yeah, Frederick, we had 18 people, I was in charge of 18 people.
It's very much bigger, developed area. Yeah, my niece and her family live out in Middletown. So I drive through Frederick quite a lot when I'm going to kids' sports.
Mhm.
And it's amazing to me. I remember when I was in my teens that Frederick was back in just a little colonial village,
Yes. And the other is, I think the same thing with Westminster. When I was growing up in Frederick, I thought Well, first, it's not easy to get to. I
No, it
mean,
isn't.
there's no like major highways getting, which is probably a good thing. But I just remember when we came out here to, play football or, sport,
Yeah.
it was like, oh my God, we're traveling forever in a day.
All these fields.
Yes,
fields,
exactly.
fields.
So,
No, it's charming, I like it. My parents are from a very small town in Ohio, and my sister and I used to spend summers there. She's from the time I was 5 till I went to college.
Mm.
So there are aspects of this you feel pretty comfortable in.
Yeah.
Much more than the suburbs of Washington. It's nice.
it is a nice place.
Nice neighbors too. Lots of young families, and I enjoy that, watching kids play. Walking the dogs and pushing strollers.
That's all good.
For a meeting like this, do you expect normally to have other officials of the city present, or is it just you?
Interesting. Well, okay, so usually my manager's here as well. He couldn't be here tonight, but
So there might be a couple of you, but then it's just you present, and if there are questions, fine, and if not,
well, typically what happens is that the chair calls the meeting and the applicant goes first and presents their case, and then I just go through and either correct or, add on to what they said.
fine,
Yeah.
to clarify,
Right.
so. Is there any action that's taken at the meeting, or is this strictly the hearing process, the gathering information?
And at the end of the meeting, they can approve, deny, continue. Speaking of senators, the manager.
And you said you wouldn't be here, so he's told me all about how he's feeling.
I think what's more important tonight, the vice presidential debate or watching the O's games. It's like,
Well, the O's game,
I am.
It's nice to finally meet you. I'm Kelly.
Nice to meet you.
didn't that start early?
Yeah, it's a 4 o'clock game.
I don't.
Again,
Just-
ready to stop being here.
They don't get. I think like they did last year, a
That was kind of sad.
little bit of time off. All stuff on that.
Just like all nerves, I'm doing well, thanks. Good, great.
All right.
Pretty good, how you been?
Hopefully these are connected, because there's a bunch of cords at my feet.
Bad, I cannot. I know I could hear myself when I was talking, so.
All right.
Good.
I guess we'll.
Randy, how's it going? My sister, I was cleaning around the office the other day because I bought myself one that sealed up really nicely that I could just throw in my tote bag. Then I threw it in my tote bag and it busted open in my tote bag. So I was having a fit about it at the office. My sister, I showed it to the work the next day and she had this on my desk and she's like, it seals.
Is that a Yeti?
No, that's something.
That's kind of. That's something.
I still wouldn't chuck it in my tote bag, but at least it does seal.
Right.
Yeah. I'm an unreliable drink carrier. So anything, like I do have the Yeti coffee box, like it literally like twists. Drop it in my tote. So. Randy? Now I seal it and I get myself confused. I did something.
Oh, so do you have how long was the drive? That's pretty.
I told myself, I was in States, well, this is current. Till about 4:30. Yeah, I think it is. That's not.
I was talking to Jane at the planning machine. She said, "No, I just work hard."
60 feet. So, you know, to be able to build a building on there and still meet 300.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Hello, sir, how are you?
Oh, here's.
Did you see the evening?
This is 100 and.
Well, there it is.
Okay, good, I was interested, because I was trying to figure that out, couldn't figure it out.
Election.
And then you have.
I didn't notice it last time.
Right?
Just gonna ask.
I looked at it and I looked at it. And I was like,
That was a carryover.
Laura.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So just say. And then you the agenda to.
And also, I think I have to go back to the minutes and stuff. So I do. Yes.
Peoples of the county. A lot of stuff.
Larry had lines here to be an alternate.
Yeah, so I know that Mark has talked to city administrator, and I know that the mayor and town council know of it, and they know our need. But I think you can talk to them.
Okay.
I am hopeful. But actually, talk about it.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Yeah, we need to, he said he's in. So we approve it. I'm like, should be some
It's only that my conference room table, somebody has clearly taken me.
We have a
nice day.
we have one that when you sit in, you're fine, and then by the end of the meeting, you have slowly.
Okay. Well, if we did that, we'd probably if it's just the two of us. I don't want this kind of pressure. So today was a good day because I had to be in Sykesville at 9 o'clock. So I didn't get out of there till about 1:15. So I thought I'm not going to that. So I came here. Had lunch. Oh, yeah. So it was fine. It was 6 minutes getting right. Cause I was like, this rare buzzer. I know it takes. Oh, yeah, we got a new one. Huh?
Just the one right up,
In the strip mall?
yeah.
Cause we, like, have you been in it?
Where's the new one?
It's the old Capital One Bank building, by Marshalls.
Oh, it's huge.
Right.
We'll have to try that next time. Yeah, this one. Freezing.
Oh,
So cold. I asked the guy, I'm like, what's up with this? And he said, our HVAC. He said, we cannot try it.
Jeez.
So everybody in there was like, oh.
There used to be the Kentucky Fried Chicken that was here, it was bizarre. I remember this because I thought I'd never heard such a thing. It's a corporate office. Trolls. That's like, it's very.
About yourself.
Of course, I can't. Right,
Right.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have bothered.
Better.
It's tough. And I was like, you're pushing it. For my mobility, right? Farm, I know, which is, very, yes.
I know.
Brenda, I think we have something in common.
We have a lot in common.
You know our daughter-in-law pretty well. Angie Bechtel,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yep, she's fantastic.
said to say hello.
Oh, I did not know that was your, I mean, I knew you both had the same last name, but never connected the two. She's fantastic.
Bethany, is a social worker. She's been there, we've been there 8 years, I think, in October.
Oh, wow.
Our Bethany's our daughter, her last name's Rashi.
I don't think I know. But I didn't know. Social work at the hospital or
Uh-huh.
hospice?
The hospital.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh. But you know, it's funny because I see Angie now, random places that I'm like, how are you connected there? And I bet you it's because now I mean, it's all coming together. It's different places that she's at. I'm like, this is not the hospital.
Her and our son Brooks, they're socialites. They like to get out.
Do they?
Yes. They are, they go a lot of places.
Yeah.
He has that insurance business in Tawny Town, a few tag and title companies. He's out a lot.
He needs to be out of that
Yeah.
one. Powerful. This, that's it. That's not us.
A little bit ago.
Yeah. I'll see you.